The galaxy was silent, but not with peace. It was the silence of fear. For many years, the Zorath Empire had spread across the stars. Their fleets crushed every enemy that stood against them. Worlds burned, cities turned to ash, and voices of resistance were silenced forever. Entire empires had vanished like dust in the wind. The Zorath called themselves the rightful rulers of the galaxy. To them, war was only a game. Every time a proud civilization stood to resist, the Zorath fleets arrived. Hundreds of warships armed with weapons that shattered moons. Resistance never lasted more than a few weeks. At the center of their empire, the High Council gathered inside a great chamber of black stone. Dozens of alien commanders stood tall, their armor shining with victory marks. They spoke of their latest triumph. Another empire had fallen. Another world had bent the knee. Is there any force left that can oppose us? One commander asked proudly. None, another replied. The galaxy belongs to us now. Every empire has fallen before our fleet. But then, a voice in the chamber broke the prideful mood. There is still one world left, whispered a thin, gray-skinned advisor. His words were like cold wind. One world not yet conquered. One world not yet tested. The chamber grew quiet. What world? Demanded the High Lord. The advisor looked down at his data slate. His voice trembled slightly as he spoke. Earth. A wave of laughter exploded across the chamber. Commanders shook their heads in disbelief. Earth, one sneered. A forgotten rock at the edge of the galaxy. They have no empire, another mocked. No fleet, no power. They are nothing, said the High Lord, his lips curling into a smile. And soon they will know the shadow of our fleet. Earth will fall like all the others. The commanders agreed. To them, Earth was a joke. A world of primitives, barely worth their attention. But then something strange happened. As the council laughed, the room's main screen flickered. Static filled the air. A signal had broken through their defenses. Who dares? The High Lord shouted. The signal grew stronger. Strange symbols appeared across the screen. It was not Zorath code. It was human code. The chamber went still. Impossible, one commander whispered. No human has ever hacked into our channels. The static cleared. A voice spoke. It was human. The voice was calm, cold and filled with steel. We know what you have done, the voice said. We know you destroy and enslave. You think no one can stop you. You are wrong. The chamber fell into stunned silence. You expect us to hide. You expect us to beg. But we do not beg. We do not hide. The screen glowed brighter. The last words struck like a blade. We are coming. Then the signal vanished. The chamber lights dimmed, leaving only silence. For the first time in centuries, the Zorath commanders felt something new, something they had long forgotten. Fear. Send the fleet, the High Lord finally commanded. His voice shook with anger. If Earth wishes to challenge us, then we shall crush them with fire. Prepare the armada. Orders spread across the empire. Hundreds of warships moved toward the edge of Zorath space, preparing for the battle to come. The soldiers whispered among themselves. They had never heard of humans before. Were they truly so bold to send such a message to the Zorath? At the edge of the empire, scanners detected movement. Contact, one officer reported. Something is entering our system. Is it their fleet? The commander asked. The officer frowned, confused. No, Commander. It is not a fleet. Then what is it? The officer stared at the readings again. The numbers made no sense. His voice cracked as he answered. It is. One ship, the commander laughed. One ship. Is this their idea of war? But deep inside he felt uneasy. One ship should have been nothing. A joke, an insult. And yet, why did the humans send it with such confidence? Why did their message sound like a promise? The galaxy did not know it yet, but everything was about to change. The age of empires was ending. The age of humanity was about to begin. The alien fleet gathered at the edge of their empire. Hundreds of warships floated in the dark, their engines glowing like angry stars. They had faced many enemies before, but this time was different. This time, they were waiting for humans. The commanders expected a massive fleet, thousands of ships ready to fight. The Zorath Empire had always destroyed fleets before, and they expected the same again. Victory, as always, seemed certain, but what appeared from the void was not a fleet. It was only one ship. A single dark vessel drifted slowly into the system. Its size was small compared to the great Zorath battleships. It should have looked weak, harmless, like prey before predators. But it didn't. The human ship moved with silent purpose. Its hull was black as night, absorbing the light of nearby stars. Strange patterns glowed faintly across its surface like scars or runes. The ship gave no signal of fear, no sign of retreat. It simply came forward, one against hundreds. The alien commanders roared with laughter. "This is their fleet," one shouted. "One ship? They insult us." Another hissed. "Destroy it at once." But the High Commander raised his claw. His eyes narrowed. "Wait, a single ship would not come without reason. Let us see what humans think they can do." The fleet surrounded the human vessel. Massive warships locked weapons on it, aiming cannons large enough to shatter a planet's crust. Fighters swarmed around like a cloud of steel insects, and yet the human ship said nothing. No message, no signal, only silence. The alien officers grew restless. "Why don't they speak?" one asked. "Perhaps they are afraid," another replied. "Perhaps they are broken already." But inside their voices was unease. Something about the ship felt wrong. It did not move like prey. It moved like a predator. Finally, the High Commander gave the order. "Fire a warning shot. Tear off its hull. Make them scream." A Zorath battleship powered its main cannon. A massive beam of white fire shot across the void, slamming into the human vessel. The stars lit up with the explosion. When the light faded, the alien officers gasped. The human ship was still there, untouched. The beam had struck, but the hull had absorbed the energy as if it was nothing. The black patterns on its surface glowed brighter, pulsing like a heartbeat. The Zorath commanders shouted in shock. "Impossible! No ship can survive a direct hit from that weapon." The High Commander's voice shook with anger. "Enough games! Destroy it!" Dozens of warships opened fire. Missiles, plasma beams, and railgun slugs filled the darkness. Explosions lit the system like a storm of suns, and yet the human ship moved. It slid through space with inhuman speed, dodging attacks as if it already knew where they would strike. Beams missed by inches. Missiles exploded harmlessly in its wake. Then the human ship answered. A single beam of blue light shot from its side. It was not large, not loud, but it struck one Zorath battleship directly. The alien vessel did not explode. It simply vanished. A hole of nothing remained where it once had been, as if it was erased from existence. Silence fell across the fleet. Thousands of alien eyes widened in horror. One shot, one battleship gone. The human ship drifted forward again, calm, unhurried, like a hunter who had already chosen its prey. "Retreat?" one officer asked, his voice shaking. "No!" The High Commander roared, though even he felt fear creeping into his chest. "It is only one ship. Overwhelm it!" But deep inside, every soldier knew the truth. This was not just one ship. This was something else. Something they had never faced before. The human vessel did not open a channel. It gave no warning. But as it destroyed another Zorath ship with the same impossible weapon, the aliens began to hear whispers in their minds. Whispers that came from their own fear. "You expected a fleet, but one is enough." The Zorath Empire had crushed countless civilizations, but now, for the first time, their armada trembled, and the battle had only just begun. The battlefield was chaos. The Zorath fleet, once confident and proud, now looked like prey before a predator. One human ship had done what no empire in the galaxy could imagine. It had erased warships with single strikes, survived attacks that could destroy cities, and moved like a shadow through space. Alien commanders shouted orders, trying to hide the fear in their voices. "Surround it. Do not let it escape. Bring more ships forward." But escape was not what the human vessel wanted. It did not run. It hunted. The Zorath had always won battles with numbers. Hundreds of ships against dozens. Thousands against hundreds. But against this single human ship, numbers did not matter. Each time a Zorath vessel locked weapons, the human ship moved first. It twisted and slid through the void with impossible speed. And then with calm precision it struck. One shot, one kill, another battleship gone. Another crew erased. Soon the fleet's communication channels filled with panic. "They are reading our movements. It knows where we will fire before we even fire. This is no normal vessel. This is something else." Whispers spread like fire. Some said the ship was alive. Others claimed it carried the souls of 1,000,000 humans fighting as one. The High Commander shouted to silence the fear. Enough of this madness. It is only technology. They cannot win forever. But even his voice cracked with doubt. He could not explain what he saw. No one could. Then something happened that made the fear worse. The human ship opened a channel. Every alien aboard every vessel heard the same voice. Calm. Cold. Human. You thought we were weak. You thought we were broken. Every empire before you thought the same. Every empire before you is gone. The voice echoed through their ships like thunder in the soul. The Zorath soldiers froze. Their hands shook. Many had never even seen a human before, but now, hearing that voice, they felt like prey trapped in a cage. The High Commander roared in anger. Do not listen. Fire everything! The fleet obeyed. Hundreds of weapons lit the sky. But the human ship did not fall. It danced among the fire, untouchable, erasing more vessels with each strike. The aliens began to understand. This was not just war. This was a message. Humans had not come with numbers. They had not come with endless fleets. They had come with one ship to show the galaxy a truth. It only took one of them to end an empire. The panic grew. Some alien captains broke formation and tried to flee, but fleeing did not help. The human ship caught them easily, erasing them as if to remind the rest. There was no escape. Inside the Zorath flagship, officers looked at their commander with wide eyes. What are they? One whispered. The commander had no answer. His claws gripped the chair so hard the metal bent. He had seen fear before, but never like this. The voice returned again. You expected a fleet. You only need one of us. The words echoed across the stars. They carried a weight no empire could ignore. Silence filled the Zorath ships after the message ended. Weapons still glowed, engines still burned, but hearts had cracked. The fear was inside them now, deeper than any wound. For the first time in history, the empire that crushed galaxies with ease now felt powerless, because they were not facing an army. They were facing humanity, and humanity had chosen to fight. The Zorath fleet was broken. Not destroyed, not yet, but broken in spirit. Dozens of warships had fallen to one ship. The Great Armada, feared across the galaxy, now trembled like children in a storm. The High Commander stood on the bridge of his flagship, staring at the black human vessel that drifted calmly among the wreckage. His chest tightened. This was not war. This was slaughter, what is it? One officer whispered. How can a single ship destroy us like this? No one had an answer. Then the human vessel moved again. It cut through the debris like a predator through bones, heading straight for the flagship. Protect the flagship. The High Commander shouted. The Zorath ships obeyed. They formed a wall of steel between the human vessel and their leader. Cannons charged, missiles launched. The void lit with fire, but the human ship slid through the storm unharmed. Its strange patterns glowed brighter now, pulsing with a rhythm that felt almost alive. Then the truth came. The human ship opened another channel. This time it showed more than words. A hologram burst into every Zorath ship. It showed a human figure, calm, strong, and merciless. The voice spoke again. You do not understand what you face. This is not just a ship. This is Earth's weapon. It carries the minds of our best, generals, soldiers, thinkers, fighters, all in one. The Zorath soldiers froze. Millions of humans, all in one ship? The voice continued, cutting through their fear. You send thousands of ships. We need only one. Because this is not about numbers. It is about will. The hologram vanished, but the truth remained. The human vessel fought as if it already knew the moves of every enemy. It was not just technology, it was intelligence, built from centuries of hidden war science. The High Commander gritted his teeth. It is a machine. It must have a weakness. But even he was not sure. The human ship struck again. Another Zorath cruiser vanished, erased by a beam of blue light. The crew screamed for only a second before silence returned. The fear inside the fleet turned into something worse. Doubt. If one ship could destroy them, what else could humanity be hiding? Some soldiers began to whisper, this is not just a weapon. This is humanity itself. The whispers spread, infecting the hearts of warriors who had never known defeat. The human voice came again, colder this time. Every empire before you thought they were strong. Every empire before you is gone, and you will join them." The High Commander's claws shook on the command chair. He had led the Empire through 100 battles, but now his mind betrayed him. He could not see victory, only death. He turned to his officers. "Send for reinforcements. Call every ship in the Empire. We will drown this human in fire." Orders flew across the stars. The Zorath Empire began to rally more fleets, more soldiers, more weapons. They thought numbers could still win, but deep inside, many of them already knew the truth. Numbers meant nothing. The human weapon was not fighting for survival. It was fighting for a message, and every shot, every kill, every vanished warship carved that message deeper into the galaxy. Earth was not weak. Earth was not broken. Earth was the storm they had feared without knowing. The black ship stopped just outside the flagship's firing range. Its weapons powered down, but the silence was worse than fire. It was waiting, watching, daring the Zorath to make their next move. The High Commander clenched his jaw. "Why do they stop? Why don't they finish us?" No one answered. The silence was unbearable. Then the human voice returned one last time. "We are not here for victory. We are here for memory. The galaxy will remember this day. Remember that one human ship broke an empire." The transmission ended. The black vessel glowed brighter, like a shadow crowned with fire. The Zorath fleet stared at it in dread. None dared to move. None dared to breathe. And for the first time in their history, the Empire wondered if this war was already lost. The Zorath Empire had always believed itself eternal. But now, as their fleets burned across the stars, eternity felt fragile. The black human vessel hovered in silence. It did not chase. It did not retreat. It simply waited like a predator watching wounded prey. Across the Empire, panic spread. Commanders sent frantic calls for reinforcements. Entire fleets began to move toward the battlefront. Millions of alien soldiers prepared to fight, but the truth was already written. One ship had broken their spirit. On the flagship, the High Commander stared at the screen. His eyes were wide, his hands trembling. He had seen war his whole life, but never like this. "This is not possible," he whispered. "It cannot be possible." Yet it was. He could not deny the wreckage of his proud armada, the shattered ships floating silently around them. The human vessel pulsed with blue light. Its strange patterns glowed brighter, as if feeding on the fear of its enemies. Then, without warning, it opened a final channel. The voice was human, calm, steady, unbreakable. "You thought we were gone. You thought we were weak. But Earth remembers. Earth waits. And when the galaxy comes to break us, we do not send a fleet. We send one." Every Zorath officer froze. The words cut deeper than any weapon. The voice continued. "You built your empire on blood. You built it on fear. You thought no one could stand against you. But today the galaxy will see. The galaxy will remember. Humanity does not kneel." The human ship moved again, firing once more. Another Zorath battleship vanished into nothing. The crew's screams were swallowed by silence. The soldiers on the remaining ships broke. Some begged for orders. Some prayed to gods long forgotten. Others simply stared at the dark human vessel, knowing there was no escape. The High Commander slammed his claws against the chair. "We are not finished. We are the Zorath. We are eternal." But his words rang hollow. Even he did not believe them anymore. The human voice returned one last time, echoing across the stars, carried to every listening ear in the galaxy. "You expected a fleet, but one is enough. One human ship to remind you, one human ship to end you, and one human ship to begin the age of Earth." The black vessel's weapons glowed, brighter and brighter, until the void itself looked like it was burning. The remaining Zorath fleet broke apart in panic. Some tried to flee. Others fired wildly. None made a difference. The human ship struck again and again, erasing ships until the stars were littered with silence. At last, only the flagship remained. The High Commander stood tall, refusing to kneel, even as terror filled his chest. He looked at the human vessel and whispered, "What are you?" The answer came, soft but final. "We are Earth." The beam fired. The Zorath flagship was erased from existence, and with it, the heart of the Empire. The battle ended, but the message did not. The human transmission spread across the galaxy, carried by frightened survivors, by spies, by traders who heard the whispers. Every world learned the same truth. Every empire fell before the Zorath, but the Zorath fell before Earth, and Earth did not need a fleet. They sent one, and one was enough. In the years that followed, alien rulers hesitated before raising arms against humanity. They remembered the broken empire, the single ship, and the voice that spoke with iron will. The galaxy had lived in the shadow of Zorath. Now it lived in the shadow of Earth. But humans did not claim the galaxy for conquest. They claimed it for memory, a warning to all who thought Earth was weak. The message was eternal. Humanity fights until the end. Humanity never breaks. The galaxy would never forget.